Welcome, everybody. It's just me today, but I am going to introduce you to someone who's teaching people all across the country about the advantages of using what are called keyhole gardens to grow fresh, yummy, and organic veggies right at home. I'm introducing you to Dr. Deb Tolman. Here in Texas, with scorching summer heat and unpredictable rainfall, gardening can be an uphill battle, and it's not for the faint of heart. But there are ways to create sustainable gardens, even in unforgiving climates. Environmental scientist and founder of the Silo Project, Dr. Deb Tolman is a great example of what happens when creativity meets determination. And just FYI, Silo stands for Sustainable Information and Learning Opportunities. So their research helps us develop sustainable living practices, and they are all about educating the public. Now, I first met Dr. Deb in 2012 when I was interviewing her for an article for Texas Co-op Power magazine. That article turned out to be their most popular one online for 2 years running. And that made me think, I think Dr. Deb needs to publish a book. So we worked together in 2015 to get that written, and we published her book on Amazon, and it is still available. It's called Soiled Rotten: Keyhole Gardens All Year Round. I'll be sure to share the link, but in a quick nutshell, here is what I've learned from Dr. Deb about keyhole gardening. The concept of keyhole gardens originated in Southern Africa, where resources are scarce and the climate is unforgiving. These innovative gardens have been used by humanitarian aid organizations to help communities grow their own food in challenging conditions. A keyhole garden typically takes the shape of a circle that measures about 6 feet in diameter, and it stands at waist height for easy accessibility. It resembles a pie with a slice cut away, leaving a hole in the center that holds a composting basket that's going to nourish the soil. Now, Dr. Deb adapted this approach to suit the dry conditions of north central Texas. Now, she says you can construct the beds almost entirely out of compostable materials using things like newspapers, phone books. Do people still use phone books? And cardboard. When you're using these recyclables, you're adding carbon, nitrogen, and air to the soil, and that results in an abundant harvest of healthy produce, even in those hot and dry climates. Here's what Dr. Deb said. People often underestimate the potential of sustainable gardening methods like keyhole gardens. You don't need to spend an excessive amount on groceries when you can grow your own fresh produce right at home. Her keyhole gardens thrive year-round, offering an array of vegetables such as Malabar spinach, chard, French green beans, carrots, kale, tomatoes, berries, and so much more. And with Dr. Deb's expertise, the residents of her home community in Clifton are building a whole network of keyhole gardens. The first one was at the local Ace Hardware, and it served as a demonstration garden for the locals to see firsthand just how easy gardening could be. Using native rock, clay, recycled paper, and manure, they built a keyhole garden that yielded impressive results in just 4 weeks. So what was once 129 phone books became rich soil, and that's thanks to the magic of composting. Now there are easily more than 60 keyhole gardens in the area where her neighbors are enjoying an abundance of nutritious food from their own backyards. According to the National Weather Service, much of our country remains under extreme drought conditions. Fortunately, this is where keyhole gardens shine. Even during extreme Texas summers with triple-digit temperatures and limited rainfall, these gardens continue to thrive with proper care. To reduce water requirements without compromising plant health, you can use drip irrigation and add a thick layer of mulch. And by irrigating the gardens at optimal times and applying mulch, you can reduce water consumption by approximately 30%. Plus, you can use shade structures to protect the plants from excessive heat and sun exposure. So, here's the nuts and bolts. What do you need to do to unlock the benefits of your own keyhole garden? You can get started growing an abundance of fresh produce. You can save water and you can lower your grocery bills in 9 easy steps. Number one, measure a 6-foot diameter circle to define the inside wall of your garden. Number two, notch that circle to create easy access to the center basket. And from above, it's going to literally look like an old fashioned keyhole. Number three, construct the exterior walls using suitable materials, which can be as simple as rocks or concrete blocks. Number four, create a composting basket in the center, and that's going to be with something like chicken wire, and then layer it with kitchen scraps, herbaceous weeds, and compostable material. Number five, fill the outer area of the garden with layers of compostable materials, wetting them down as you go. This is where the cardboard comes in. Number six, water the garden only when necessary to encourage root growth toward the center basket. Number seven, feed the garden regularly by adding more kitchen scraps and organic materials to the center basket. Number eight, consider installing shade structures or covers during extreme weather conditions. And number nine, enjoy the fruits and vegetables of your labor. I know some of that's hard to follow just verbally. So be sure and pop by our blog for diagrams and pictures and links to Dr. Deb's book. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time.